Hello, Mom and Dad Meet World. So we've had the both of the 13 and the 15 for quite a while. Actually, we've got the 13-inch MacBook Air on us, and the 15 is at home because, well, we are out and about doing a little bit of weekend travel like most of you do. And I guess the question is, how good is the 13 really for travel? Is it okay? Did we wish we had more power? Well, we're going to tell you right here. For me, I think it's been absolutely awesome. It's portable, it's great. Battery life is good. Not as good as the 15 because the 15 is really awesome, but I think it's really darn good. What do you think?
I think the 13 just it gets the job done. If you're looking for a lightweight travel computer you can take out with you to, say, I don't know, the beach, which is where we're at right now. Somewhere where you can go just get away, but you don't want to have to ruck a big heavy laptop. It fits the bill.
So let's talk about it a little bit more. The 15 is what I would normally carry for the work computer, should I say, but we did get a screaming deal, and we actually do have the 13, even though we do use the 15 as pretty much our daily driver, but the 13 is what we're talking about today, so stay tuned. All right, so let's talk about it right here. Apologies if I am a bit blown out, but we're just sitting here at a rest area on the coast, on the water, and I've got the beautiful city of Astoria behind me. But let's talk about it right here. So this right here is the 16-inch MacBook Pro. 16-inch MacBook Pro is very nice, very good, but something a little bit more compact, something you really want to take with you, especially when you are out on a vacation, is going to be something like this right here. And first thing is going to be size and portability. And especially when compared to this one right here, there is a bit of a size difference where this one is much bigger, much more heavier than this one right here. And on paper right here, this 13-inch MacBook Air is really nice because it has about the same responsiveness as the 16-inch MacBook Pro with the Air right here. When I say about the same responsiveness, we're not talking about the power apps, like if you wanted to do a little bit of video stabilization or if you're into stuff like large language models or anything like that, but we're talking about just your everyday day-to-day use. So if you wanted to check email, get on the web, maybe get on your Microsoft Office apps, you needed to do some actual work on the go. Even if you want to do a little bit of Final Cut Pro video editing or Pixelmator Pro, this right here, the 13-inch, despite the screen size, is going to be just fine. So let's actually open this up right here, and you can see this beautiful display right here. Even where you've got a little bit of sunlight, you can still see the screen, no problem. And then look how bright this is. If you want to watch National Lampoon's Vacation while you're out on your vacation, you definitely can. But take a look at this. This is just a beautiful little display. And we talk about size. Again, portability is really key because you can have this very discreet. You can even slide this under your seat if need be. And when you slide it under your seat, you don't have to worry about it. You can put it in the back seat, hide it away, where something like the bigger 16-inch MacBook Pro, that is much harder to do. It would be put it under your seat and have it be discreet. But with this right here, such a beautiful machine. And as I said, really, that is going to be the thing where portability is really key with this machine over the MacBook Pro. And again, like I said, if you wanted to even edit on here, you wanted to check your office work on here, you definitely can. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to connect to my own hotspot right here. And when you connect it to your phone sitting right next to you, you can make anywhere your portable office, should I say. And what you can do here is just take your phone, take your computer, take it anywhere on the go. And like I said, even if you are on vacation, take this to a local coffee shop, work outside at a restaurant if you like, and this is it. And if you take a look behind me, which I'm just going to move, you can have this as your portable office, and this looks fantastic. It really does look really does look super duper amazing. So I am going to continue to cut videos, but I just want to tell you, even though we did pick the 15 as the primary choice, we do have the 13 too, because we did get this 13 baseline model, and baseline 16 gig, 256 gigs of storage, did not upgrade the GPU cores. It still has the same factory CPU and GPU cores that the baseline model does have, and it's just been absolutely phenomenal. So all right, so we've got the MacBook Air 13 right here in my remote setup right here. So MacBook Air 13, and we're actually recording right here on the Sony ZV-E1 or the ZV-E1. So a few things to keep in mind with the storage. We've got to use an external drive right here. I've got a 2 terabyte external SSD right here and a cable. And then to get the footage from the camera to the computer, I can use the cable, but the preferred method is to use this external SD card reader right here. So those are two things that where if you had the bigger computer, which we do right here in the 16-inch MacBook Pro, and you're going to see right here, you've already got the SD card reader and the extra USB-C already on the computer right there. And then you've got extra storage to where, depending on the storage I've got left in there, which I don't have much, to be honest with you, I could just offload it directly onto the computer and I would not even need to use this drive. But with 256 gigs of storage, not very much is left on here. So what I've got to do, use the external drive, then use this SD card reader right on here. But the thing that does make this so handy, again, is that portability, because it is so small and compact. And with this one right here, as I said, the one I would normally use is this 15-inch MacBook Air, but you can see right here in size between the 15-inch MacBook Air and between the 13-inch MacBook Air, especially compared to the other, which is the 16-inch MacBook Pro. Even the Air is much smaller, and the 13 is much smaller than the 15-inch MacBook Air. So just putting a little bit of context. All right, back to the rest of the video. Stay tuned for a video, because we did do a video where if you wanted to, and I'm not saying you should, but if you had wanted to do a little bit of get a little bit more power from this computer, one of the few mods you could do is the thermal pad mod, where you're taking that extra heat that comes off the system on a chip, the CPU, GPU, just pulls it, brings it to the chassis. We do have that video coming up, but for now, this is the 13-inch MacBook Air, where portability is really key, just like the iPad mini, where you've got something smaller where portability is key for that. You can say the same thing with this machine right here, the 13-inch MacBook Air, as opposed to the 16-inch MacBook Pro. It really is an awesome machine. But this machine really is too an awesome machine, just nowhere near as portable as the 13-inch right here. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, share, comment, subscribe. Non-technical at all, but just an everyday, day-to-day use on the 13-inch MacBook Air. All right, thanks for watching. Bye for now.